In this video, we're going to look at 5 business lessons we can all learn from the infamous Gordon Ramsay.
Welcome to Let's Rethink Business, presented by Dale Beaumont and brought to you by businessblueprint.com.
I don't watch a lot of television, but when I do, I like to watch something that's both entertaining and educational. One such show is Kitchen Nightmares, hosted by the infamous Gordon Ramsay. Now, if you're not familiar with the show, this is where Gordon, one of the world's best chefs and restaurateurs, goes inside somebody else's failing restaurant with the goal of turning it around, turning it back to profit within just 5 days. Having watched now a whole bunch of episodes, I've discovered that there's pretty much a formula that is followed every time. There are 5 steps to this formula, and these principles are universal, which means they're going to apply to any business. So if you'd like to break through your business plateau and take your business to another level, then listen to these ideas and have fun putting them into practice. Number 1, get re-inspired. When Gordon Ramsay arrives at a restaurant, the business owner is almost always completely flat. Months or years of hard work and dwindling profits have taken their toll, and the business owner is in complete survival mode and is stressed out to the max. Now, Gordon can launch into let's fix this and let's fix that, but that would be a complete waste of time because you can't achieve anything if you're mentally and emotionally spent. So Gordon works with the owner to help reignite their passion for the business. He believes if a business stinks, it's because the owner stinks, and that's where he starts from the top down. He'll sometimes ask questions like, so why did you go into business? Other time they'll look through books of old family photos, or sometimes he'll even take them to the markets, blindfold them, and get them to name foods just by their smell. Now, back to you. If you're in a state of perpetual stress or exhaustion, you're probably only running on 30% of your capacity. So what I want you to do is to stop, take a breath, and get re-inspired. Question for reflection. What can you do to reignite your passion for your business? Number 2, own a niche. Once a business owner has moved into a more positive state of mind, then they can go back and start fixing things within a business. The first point of call is normally to refocus their niche. Now, what's a niche? Well, a niche is a position that you hold in someone's mind. Because the problem is many business owners try to play it safe, especially when they're struggling, and they just jump at any opportunity that moves. Someone says, hey, do you do pizza? And you say, well, not now, but we will tomorrow. And then you go and tell your chef, go out and buy everything you need because tomorrow we're making pizzas. And by the way, arrive 2 hours early because you've got to get to work early and prepare all of the dough. Now, when that happens half a dozen times, you start losing your edge. You go from that restaurant that does amazing seafood to that restaurant that does a little bit of everything for everyone. That then slips into the decor, and sooner or later the restaurant looks sloppy and unfocused. Instead, you need to stake your claim. You might say to yourself, we're going to be the most authentic Mexican restaurant in Sydney. And then you're going to make all your decisions in relation to food and decor and service based on that without deviating whatsoever. Remember, you can't be all things to all people, so pick something and stick to it. Question for reflection. What do you stand for in the marketplace? Is it clear, and can your customers see it? Number 3, trim the fat. Once Gordon Ramsay has helped the owner to identify and own their niche, the conversation then rolls on to the menu. In other words, the products that they're selling. In almost every single case, from what I've seen, they're offering way too many things in their menu. In fact, I saw one episode where an Indian restaurant had over 150 different curries, and Gordon said we need to cut that back to 12. Now, as you can imagine, that conversation at first went down like a lead balloon because it seems completely crazy. It's counterintuitive. However, as Gordon explains, you can't be remarkable if you're trying to do too many things. And remarkable is what you need to be if you want people to come back, because no one's ever going to go back to an average restaurant. Furthermore, when you limit the number of things that you sell, you can buy in bulk, preparation time is easier, and food gets served much faster. And the result is lower cost, better quality, and faster table service, which means you're turning them over quicker, which means more profit. Question for reflection, what could you cut in your business? Number 4, effective communication. Once you then own your niche and your products are nailed, the next major problem is always the people. After years of stress and financial pressure, relationships are usually at breaking point. Gordon normally handles this by getting everybody together. Then he goes through one person at a time and asks them, what do you think's wrong with the business? What's broken? And how should we fix it? Now, it's always funny to sit back and watch when this happens because there's always a look of shock on the face of the business owner because they're hearing this for the very first time. Now, you'd think if a business was struggling, they'd be talking to their staff sooner and they'd be getting their input and their advice. However, normally they're so burnt out and so stressed that they've just had their blinkers on. Then, once everyone is shared and the owner has really listened, Gordon encourages everyone to start adopting their new behaviours and to start working together as a unit rather than despondent individuals. Then, over the next few days, he keeps reminding people to speak up and to listen intently when others are speaking and to make sure that you do the same. Question for reflection. How often are you asking your team members for their opinion, and are you really listening? Number 5, create an experience. With communication among the staff back on track, now it's time to focus on the most important person in your business, the customer. Again, up until this particular point, the owner's probably been so preoccupied with their own drama that to most customers they've come across cold and at worst completely rude. With that attitude now a thing of the past, Gordon rallies the troops and tells the team we need to create an experience that'll knock people's socks off. This involves doing all the things that we know we should be doing, but we've forgotten in the past. But we're now going to be enthusiastic, have good eye contact, smile, and help the customers to their seat. Then, once the customer is feeling good, Gordon encourages them to bring the menu to life and to continually ask if they'd like another drink or if they'd care for a dessert. Clearly, these are all factors which helps to increase the restaurant's average dollar sale. But ultimately, the true test is to create an overall experience that makes the customer want to come back and feel inspired to share their experience with their friends. In other words, repeat customers and referrals, the lifeblood of any business. Question for reflection. What are 10 things that you can do to wow your customers? In closing, I'd encourage you to download, legally of course, a few episodes of Kitchen Nightmares and watch them. It's really interesting to watch the human dynamic and leadership lessons at play. Ultimately though, the biggest lesson is that your business is ultimately a reflection of you, the owner. Now you may say, well, what about my staff? Don't they have a role to play? Well, of course. But if they're not performing at their best, it's because you've allowed that behavior to happen and that mindset to exist. So it all starts with you. Follow through on these principles and enjoy putting them into practice. That completes today's video. Now, I'd love to know, what do you think of Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares? Have you found any other principles that I haven't discussed in this video? If so, please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. If you've enjoyed this video, click the like button, but better still, share it with other business owners that you know. And if you're not already on our website, please visit businessblueprint.com. There you'll find a whole bunch of resources to help you grow your business, and make sure you subscribe to receive future updates and receive videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.